Hi, and welcome to the Thinking Out Loud podcast, a show with meaningful conversations in English with non-native speakers. My name is Maciek.
My name is Jędrek.
And my name is Masha.
And you are two English teachers who
Take part in their own show, I guess.
Today, yes, it looks like we are.
Maciek, thanks for this fantastic introduction to our podcast.
It's a pleasure. Hello.
I think you know this introduction by heart already, given how many times you have listened to to our show.
From the very
how are you
beginning.
doing? Tell me. Yeah, exactly. You have been there since day one, I guess. And tell me, how are you doing 1 year later? Because you are the first person, and I'm really glad that it's you who revisits us here on the show. How are you doing? How is your English doing? And yeah, tell us just a little bit. How are you feeling?
Yeah. It's
Being
so,
here again.
on
the show.
Yeah. So first of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me to your podcast again. So it's great to be here where we can talk and laugh together. It's always a good opportunity, especially for me, especially since I listen to your podcast every week, every episode from the very beginning, as I said. And I support you always strongly. So it's a great.
Yes, that's true, Maciek. You are everywhere. I mean, well, you haven't recorded any new voice messages, I guess, lately. But I know that you are perhaps the only person who used this option. I don't know why, but I think there were some technical issues, right, Maciek? You told me that Spotify requires you to have an account there.
An account, yes, you should set up an account, and then you should click the record button. That was not easy peasy, the process.
Yeah, definitely. There were some issues, but I was checking it the other day, and I saw it's pretty. Right now straightforward, because you just click the link and you can actually leave your voice message without registering or opening an account. So I guess it's pretty simple right now. Maybe if someone was halted by these by the need to open account, so maybe they should click again.
Right.
Yeah.
So I continue. I do the same in my business life. So I learn English all the time. So English is very important to me. So it's a pleasure to be here, and as you know.
But I wonder, Maciek, sorry to interrupt. I wonder if your career hasn't actually taken a more international direction.
Yeah,
a little bit
just a little bit.
Year.
Yeah, because I changed a position to much more international environment. So I have to be very be on the top of the English, because my other colleagues from other countries are not from Poland. So yeah, it's important to me.
All right. Right, great. And you are also a co-author of our weekly newsletter right now.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
I have a little phrase of the week. So hello, it's me, Maciek.
Yes, I know, I know, Maciek, that you are the right person for it, because you are actually working on your own. You are running this famous notebook. I don't know if you could show us. That is Maciek's notebook.
Yeah.
Yes.
For those of you
who watch, yes. For those of
Bible.
you who are watching us, yes. For those of you who are watching us either on Spotify or on YouTube, you could see this legendary notebook, and I guess the content from it ends up from time to time.
Yeah, the legendary notebook with the pink dots on the cover.
All right. Yeah. All right, great. It's nice to see you again, Maciek. I hope we will be able to ask you, I don't know, some kind of, interesting questions here. Before I guess we move on to the thinking out loud proper, I would like to ask you a little bit about your expertise about listening to podcasts, because I know that you are actually one of the few people I know who's not afraid to try out different apps, different also paid formats, and so on. And I know that you are within the 1% of our listeners, I think, who's using Pocket Casts. What is Pocket Casts?
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
Pocket
yeah.
Casts?
Maybe I should start that I love music. I love music. I love podcasts. Music has always been present in my private life. I remember that I have always been interested in the music. So I listen to music till today. All through, I have stopped buying by my CDs. So I still have a huge shelf, traditional shelf with traditional CDs. And in
It's
fact,
also something I would like to ask you maybe later, because it's really interesting. And I
yeah,
know
yeah,
Masha,
yeah.
are you into music, Masha, at all?
Who's not?
Apart from
Oh,
Lady
come
Gaga.
on. Now you will remember this
Wow, Lady
forever.
Gaga, I love it.
All right,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
Who's not
but
into music? I mean, do you know a person who's not into music? What do you mean by this into? Like
yeah, you're right. I mean, everybody's listening, I guess,
of
to
course.
something.
Yes.
But this is not a given, Masha. It's not a given. But even if you listen to something, it doesn't mean that you have any taste or that you have any sort of preference, because you might be just consuming what the algorithms are showing you. You know what I mean,
I
like
guess
the
this is
on
what
page
everybody's
or
doing today.
yeah, and that is now. Can you say that you're into music if you do that? I mean,
So are you asking me if I have taste?
yeah, I
Do
guess
I like
ultimately
music?
you said it.
What's the
No,
question?
you said it. You said it, Masha. But I think yes, this is what I was asking. I mean, it was my intention, even if it wasn't an explicit one.
This question, are you into music? It's a very interesting question. So if you say, are you into chess, for example, it means that I, play a lot. I definitely know the rules of the game. I maybe know the results of, some latest tournaments or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
But are you into music?
What does it actually mean?
It's a bit too
Well,
scientific.
I think Maciek, you are into music because you have a really vast knowledge, as far as I know, regarding specific bands from the 70s, 80s, I guess. If I'm not mistaken, you can correct me, of course. But
Yeah. As you. Yeah. Please.
yeah, but and I think that this question, I mean, you said it. We are sidetracking. I wanted to talk about Pocket Casts for a second, but why not?
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
listeners will bear anything. They have
Yeah.
yeah. They have been with us so far and for so long that they can bear everything. But Maciek, you said you are into music, and I guess you are you mean it. You are into music, but I'm not so sure if everybody's into music. And there was an idea at the back of my head to have this conversation about tastes, which is something we shouldn't normally discuss. There is even a saying, you don't discuss the tastes, or taste is not something you should discuss. But I guess it's maybe something that we could touch. So sorry for that, Maciek. Just going back just for a second to this Pocket Casts. What is this app?
Yeah, yeah.
Why do you prefer this app over others? And yeah, for now.
Yeah, as I want to add something about the music, because music is really important to me. So as you know me, I always have a lot, how to say, lots of connotation and lots of looks related to music, as you know me. Even today,
I mean the words. I mean even your
the,
vocab. Yeah, it's very
yeah,
often
yeah.
comes from music.
Even today, when I describe my workbook, I was talking about the phrase of the week. I said the notebook in the legendary pink dots on the cover, because there was a connotation. Can I say that, with the Dutch group legendary pink dots? This Dutch group comes from Netherlands. And
It's
this
a
was
name
my,
of a band, basically.
it's a name of the name. Yes, the name of the legendary Pink Dots. Yes. So this was another, how to say, connotation
Reference.
in
Reference to music.
But about the pocket casts, I'm curious in general. Have you ever had the ability to listen a podcast at speed higher than 1.0?
I honestly, I must say that out loud, I have never done it. I mean, I know that there are technologies that allow to increase the speed of a podcast without making your voice sound like,
Yeah.
So they basically remove the, I think the silent parts, right? I don't know how does it work, but I don't know. So, and I guess as far as I'm concerned, I'm using Spotify for my podcasts, and they don't have. There is no option like this, to increase the speed to 1.1, 1.3. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know how does it work from the technical point of view, but when I listen to podcasts in my mother tongue, which is Polish, sometimes I listen on speed of 1.2, 1.5, but it should be in my mother tongue, because in English I prefer to use 1.0. Yeah. So, but overall,
Which
I don't
means,
like.
but Maciek, that means that let's say that the 1 hour podcast, you can listen to a 1 hour podcast in what, 40 minutes or 50 minutes?
I don't know actually how compared to
because I guess like
translate
if you switch to 1.2, it means you save 20%, right, of the time. It sounds like this, unless there's a different way to calculate this, but I guess.
Yeah, so but if I listen to podcasts on a higher speed than 1.5, I get cranky. Can I say that? Cranky, I means that because when I listen to a podcast, I supposed to be chilly, chilly and relaxed. But if you listen to much higher speed, that can
I
be a
guess
little nervous
1.5
to you.
or more. It's like Busta Rhymes, for
Busta
those of you who
Rhymes,
know.
yes.
There is a rapper. There was a
Yeah,
rapper who was
there was a rapper.
who was rapping like this.
Yeah. So in the very beginning, when I heard in the tech podcast that, for example, some apps get launched, I always pay for the premium version of the app in the very beginning. Later on, I make a decision to be still on the premium or not. And the question, why do I choose Pocket Cast? The app has a cool UI. UI, I mean user interface.
Yeah, user interface. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that the visual aspects of the product focuses on how the app, how the Pocket Cast looks, and how the user can interact with it. So it's really great. Spotify, for me, when of course I on the premium also on the Spotify, but honestly, I prefer because I use iOS device on daily basis, and I have access to App Store for apps such as Spotify, Pocket Cast, etc. I also have direction to the music app from Apple, which is much more better I mean about the quality of music than Spotify.
So wait a second. So does it make any sense to have 3 apps for something that could be, I mean, within one app? And I mean,
it doesn't make
like
sense. It doesn't make sense, especially when you are in the premium version. Yeah, but you know, on the very beginning, there was a try, for example, that is free, but you are still on the premium. So it's great sometimes to have an occasion to be on the trial version and then make a decision to be on the paid or not. Yeah. So and of course, remember that we can always divide it into the family model. Yeah. So it means that you and for example 5
that's the case
members.
of Spotify, right? That in fact, if you have if you share these costs between 5 people, it's really affordable, right?
Yes. But about the Pocket Cast, it's really nice. When you see on the cover the covers of each podcast. You know what I mean? That, for example, Thinking Out Loud podcast. Every episode has different podcasts. And
Masha, your covers that deserve a separate, I think, a separate discussion. You know, you see, they are actually exposed in Pocket Casts, unlike in other apps, so people can actually admire your work.
Oh my God!
Congratulations, Masha, to you now.
Masha has the ambition to design one day the cover of the New Yorker, right?
No, of course not.
No, you don't. All right, great. Thanks so much, Maciek, for promoting, I guess, the Pocket Casts. It's an app for podcasts. I know that
I'm a single user of Pocket Cast.
I guess you are, but this is a great app. I mean, I tried it myself. You know, I had it for some time, but then again, since I'm using Spotify for podcasts and I don't like to clutter my phone with lots of apps, you know, that keep updating, keep stealing, you know, not only the memory of the phone, but also, you know, my kind of, I know, peace of mind, you know, that, oh, there's so many apps. I haven't opened it for ages, you know. I think, a person who's having a very low number of apps on my phone. I think it's something. Where can I check this? I know if there are any. I have to. I think I have to count it manually, which I'm not going to do now, unless you want me to count from 1 to.
Thank you.
Unless you want me to count from 1 to, but this is not a long list. I think I have something around 30 apps in my phone, or maybe below even that. So it means it's a very low number, because I read somewhere that the average number of apps people have on their phones is, Masha,
100.
how many? It's 80. You know,
oh my God.
80 people
80?
have around 80. Yeah, I know, Maciek, what is your score? If you know that.
I can check it. So let's go to the settings. Oh, sorry.
No, it doesn't say. I mean, you would have to count, I think, manually, unless I don't know. But anyway, more or less, is it closer to 100 or is it closer to 30?
221. Sorry. Yeah, I know. I try to do once a week. You know, tidy up photos, apps, and delete it. And what I don't need it, but 221. Yeah, I know.
221 apps. So I believe that there are some apps that you.
I'm a tech guy. You know me.
Yeah. I know. All right, great. But you see, so there's a guy like me who has around 30. There's a guy like you, and you know the average is what it is, right? It's somewhere in the middle. Great. Thanks a lot for this part of our conversation. And now I guess I'd like to move on, unless, Masha, there is something we have to say. We did say a little bit about our newsletter. please go to our website, tolpodcast.com, to find the link, or actually to subscribe. There's a very ugly right now, very ugly window from Substack. It's an iframe. It means that it's a code that I copy and pasted from Substack. I am unable to modify the color. I mean, it just looks ugly, but you can subscribe to our newsletter there, or you can go directly to our Substack account, and the link is in the description, of course. Fine. So much for this. So each Wednesday you can listen to us. Each Sunday you can read us and read our minds, right?
Yeah,
Great.
unfortunately, I have also downloaded and installed Substack app. Sorry, this one, maybe the last one.
Yeah, right.
2021. Yeah, but
2021st.
2021. Yes.
221st.
Yes, 221st. So it means that you can read Thinking Out Loud newsletter in the same bone via directly from the Substack app.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
really
and
great.
of course,
not
and
only via email.
Yeah, and not only our newsletter, our posts, but also a lot of other things. I think it's a cool app for reading generally. If you want to read, this is a great app to find texts. Of course, it takes time before you find the authors that you find interesting, but I guess it's a great place to start. Simply browsing Substack. Okay, great. I am tempted right now to talk a little bit about well, apps in general, and tech. Why not? Having Maciek you here, it's a chance, So I would like to start by I am tempted all the time since the very beginning of this show to talk about the taste, which is, I think, relevant when we talk about, of course, the current culture of algorithms, and so on, this kind of unified culture. Some call it filter world, It's a very interesting concept. But I guess I'd like to ask you, Maciek, because I know you are also a social media user, right?
Yes, I try to be on
you
the
are,
Twitter.
Yeah. I guess you're also on Instagram. And
yeah, but only as a followers, not active user. You know what I mean? That not posted there. Maybe a little bit. I posted. What was the name of this medium? There was an Ivory app. Then you can. How to say? I don't remember. This is a new one. A new one.
You mean a new social medium?
New social medium, yes. Yeah. Not Facebook, not Insta, not Instagram, not the from the Meta metaversum. But actually, I don't remember now the name of this new.
Well, I think the market is pretty much mature right now. There are these big players, and it's, I guess, hard for any young one to to get into this
Mastodon, yes, Mastodon. I check on the Google.
Mastodon.
Mastodon.
Yeah, okay. So it's an alternative to Twitter.
It's alternative, but new one. Yeah, Mastodon.
I wanted to ask you a straightforward question. I don't know what is your point of view, but which social medium is more toxic? Is it Twitter, or right now X, or is it Instagram? If you think about if you even agree with this thesis that social media is toxic.
Yeah. For me, definitely Twitter. Now we should say X. Yes.
X, yeah, whatever. Yes. I keep calling it Twitter, and I think I'll die calling it Twitter. All right.
Yeah. I remember the very beginning when Twitter launched. Much, how to say?
Long time ago. It was
long time ago,
but it was over a decade ago.
That was my favorite place on the internet. Yes, I like to be there. Then but when Elon bought it, there was a lot of changes there, and now it's actually not a good place for me to be there. Instagram.
Well, what happened? What happened, Maciek? Sorry, but what happened to Twitter? I mean, without reading it, or but how do you feel what happened to Twitter ever since the takeover from Elon Musk? Or even, I don't know, maybe even before, because Twitter has been changing constantly. It wasn't like, there was one good old Twitter. And then remember, we used to have 140 characters, I think, or what was the number? I can't remember, but it was a really short, every tweet was really short, had to be really short. And then they...
about 40 or something.
Yeah, 140, I guess it was. I can't remember now. But so as you can see, Twitter has been evolving, and then of course the purchase of Twitter by Elon Musk accelerated the changes. But what has changed, in your opinion, in contrast to the early days of Twitter and the Twitter today? X.
Generally, toxicity on social media can stem from anonymity. Yeah. So because you are lack of accountability. So it means that everyone can do something dangerous there. To be there
without consequences, without personal
consequences. Yes.
Yeah, but would you say that today the medium, I mean, I'm talking about Twitter all the time, do you think it's more anonymous today than it used to be? I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that there are a lot of these accounts with the famous egg, remember? I can't even see accounts without avatars these days. I think it's even mandatory to have an avatar. I'm not sure even. Of course, it doesn't change.
Today you should. Okay.
I don't think there are anonymous accounts today. I mean, of course, there are anonymous accounts, like people who are not using their identity. But there's always some kind of an avatar these days. There are no longer these. I remember these. Remember these accounts with eggs? Because if you didn't select any avatar, you had this egg.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So I guess Twitter did a lot to eliminate these kind of accounts, but of course there are still a fictional. What is, Masha? What's the name for that? Fictitious? No, fictional.
Could be both.
Whatever. Could be both. Yeah. Okay. So these sort of accounts, of course, they are there. But do you think this is the major?
I don't know, because when you open the books, when you open the studies or surveys, and this kind of papers have pointed out that platforms like social media, like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, doesn't matter, and others have their own issues with just harassment, yes, and missing information. I think this is not only a issue from Twitter or from X, and negative mental health impacts also, because there are lots of studies which point about this kind of issue. So, but it's a crucial to to recognize that toxicity. I don't know how to say.
Toxicity, I guess. Toxicity.
Toxicity.
This is the noun that is needed. Yes.
Toxicity. That toxicity is not how to say inherent to the platforms themselves, but rather to how individuals or we as a human use them, maybe.
Yeah, but yes? I would just say, by the way, Masha, we need to involve you in this conversation for sure.
I'm not on social media.
You're not on social media, but I guess you have an Instagram account. You're on
and
Facebook,
also X account,
I guess.
Yeah, he made me.
He made me.
It was he. Yeah. You have to be on Twitter. Okay, I'm on Twitter. Now what?
No, I mean, I wanted to say that I've got 2 accounts on Twitter. One is my own, and the other one is Thinking Out Loud podcast. And whereas my account, the old one, is, I think, pretty interesting right now because I'm I follow the people I want. I muted several accounts or several words or phrases that I don't want to hear, and it's pretty much right now. It's pretty okay. I think it is kind of course. If I spend a lot of time on Twitter, I feel that it's kind of
waste of
just
time,
rambling.
or
Rambling. That's not a waste of time. It's just rambling. Twitter is about rambling. It's usually about something that irritates people rather than what people like. In contrast to Instagram. Instagram is about what people like, but it has also its downsides. We may talk about it later, but I sometimes check the timeline of the Thinking Out Loud Twitter account, and oh my God, it's like it's unbearable. There's a lot of violence. There is a lot of some kind of strange videos that that make me feel bad. So yeah, I need to spend some time one day, and because I'm generally just posting and I'm not reading the timeline, right? Because I'm reading my own timeline.
What do you
But
mean? People who are hating us in comments?
no. I mean, because I guess the timeline that you get, especially there is a timeline that is prepared by an algorithm. It is called For You, and I don't know how, but this algorithm basically, if you don't moderate it, if you don't silence certain account, don't mute certain accounts, there will be Elon Musk will be always on the top, with his jokes,
You
and
mean the
then
content which is offered to
the
you?
content,
Because
the content
timeline
is
on
over. Yeah,
Facebook is something totally different. I don't understand what you're talking about.
Oh, okay, great.
Like
So
your
maybe this
feed?
needs my feed, exactly. My
Okay.
feed.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. What is timeline? What is feed? What is the difference?
Well, on Facebook, it's
Marcel,
something where people leave their comments.
the
So
wall. They call it the wall on Facebook.
This is what people use when they want to wish me a happy birthday once a year.
Okay. No, I was referring to the feed, or something that I know from Facebook as the wall. That is, something that is appearing there.
Yeah. Okay.
Independently from you somehow, because I mean, you follow certain accounts, but if you don't, if you are not careful with who you follow, and I'm not really careful with the TOL account, because I just opened this account and I just followed whatever was first suggested to me, because there is like the first 10 accounts that you can follow, and then I followed some people, of course, that that I had interactions with and so on, but generally this account is running on algorithm. And it's basically showing me stuff that is, I know, violent, that is a little bit strange,
Yeah, but we should also add that, for example, on Twitter, your timeline includes tweets from people you follow, of course, arranged according to algorithm, as you said, or in a chronological order.
I don't believe much in this chronological. This, there is this For You, and I don't know what is the other one, normal or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
But I believe that it's also tweaked, this timeline that is supposedly chronological. It's also tweaked, but less, so it's less moderated by algorithms.
But I'm
But
sure
the point
that
is, I just wanted to say that if you don't really work hard on your timeline or feed, I guess, on your feed, on the content, that if you don't filter it a lot by blocking, by muting, by selecting who you follow carefully, then it's an awful place. It's basically an awful place, full of really, Masha, what's the substance? It is called Vile? What is it?
Bile.
Żółć, I mean, Maciek, in Polish, It is bile. With B or V?
With B.
With B. All right. So the bile, this
bile.
Yeah, it's called bile, and it is a toxic place.
You want to say that people are spiteful, something like that?
Yes. I mean,
Okay.
you know, you vent off. Twitter is a place to vent off. You know, something is.
Thank God I'm not there.
Yeah, you would be fuming. You would be fuming, you know. Yeah, but on the other side, and I would like to move to Instagram for a second. Instagram is about what you like. Great pics, you know, nice, always something positive, because you don't take pictures of whatever, you know, unless I don't follow such accounts, because I believe you can do everything on Instagram. But generally, the idea behind it is I'm doing something cool. Look what I'm doing, you know. It's more about showing off rather than criticizing others. However, of course, there might be negative comments there and so on. I saw that on Jacek's posts, you know. Sometimes Jacek, who was here a few months ago, I saw that sometimes there are some, you know, comments that are kind of hurtful. I don't know. But if you think about posting, I think the posts on Insta are just, you know, beautiful life, sweet life. And I think this is also toxic, paradoxically. I know if this is how, I know, Maciek, of course, how much time do you spend on Insta and what sort of accounts do you follow? I'm following basically teachers and
Me too.
language
Teachers,
schools.
English teachers, language, the same, the same. Sometimes accounts about the music, for
Some beautiful
example.
girls also I follow, I have to admit.
Yeah, why not? Uh, and what about TikTok? Because as I remember, we have female TikTok in our listeners from
Yeah, of course, Patricia, who's a TikToker, you know, but
yeah.
she's yeah, she's not a full-fledged TikToker, because she doesn't have an account, as far as I know. She's just lurking, because TikTok allows you to browse it without an account, without having an account. So you can have,
Great,
yeah,
great.
you can have the app, and you don't have to open an account, and you will be still able to browse the content, you know, that's there. It's quite interesting, you know, because I guess all the other apps require login and, you know, some sort of you know, an account, but not TikTok.
Yes,
So yeah.
as I understand, everything is based on engine. Yes, engine that influences into algorithms. I don't know how does it work in TikTok, but as I understand, you can watch TikTok from others TikTokers without their knowledge that you did it. Yes, because when I go to
But you
your
do that,
reels.
but yeah, you're right. Then
Yes,
I can see who.
yeah, but without any accounts, it doesn't work the same, yeah? So it means that
Yeah,
you,
but well, it's interesting, you know, and this is
without any tracking.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But this tracking, I think, is typical of Instagram, exactly, because I think that I cannot see on Twitter, for example, who's reading my tweets or my posts right now. Sorry, I'm using Twitter, you know, the old name. But
X? What does it mean, X? I'm
yeah,
using
X.
X.
Yeah. All right. But anyway, I guess it's basically yeah, Instagram. If you, especially if you click the reels or stories, right? I don't know what's the
Yeah.
difference. Kill me. I don't know what's the difference between that. But I find, you know, lately I was thinking that Instagram is equally toxic as Twitter, in terms of this kind of, you know, Twitter will make you feel angry, and Instagram will make you feel kind of
Like shit.
like shit. Yeah. Sorry, Masha. Yeah, because you will feel like, okay, my life is terrible, right? Everybody's having this, you know, fantastic. I guess Facebook is. I'm not using Facebook as a private individual. I'm using it as again as my, you know, as a teacher, right? As a school. But yeah, I guess both Facebook and Instagram make you feel like, you know, my life is really bad in comparison to the life of my friends and of everybody I follow, I guess. Unless, again, it's a matter of who you follow. Masha, I would like to ask you your I know, your 5 cents at least Facebook or Instagram from your experience, short experience? Or maybe even I'd like to ask you why are you not using these apps?
Well, this is exactly how I realized at some point that this is exactly how I felt, because there is an illusion that because if you followed one person, maybe you wouldn't have this feeling, because, well, how many posts can one person, how many certificates can a
It's
teacher
impossible to follow
get?
just one person, I guess.
Yeah, I'm saying that maybe you wouldn't get this feeling, because if you follow one person and okay, she gets one certificate every half a year, you feel, okay, I can do that. But then you follow 1,000 teachers, and each day you see that, oh, you see, I did this course, I did this, I opened the school, I did this, and you're like, oh my God, what's happening? And you get this feeling that exactly like you said. And then I got just at some point, because I used Facebook for mostly to find out about events, for professional development. And then at some point, I guess I met you. And my professional development would I
has
say
ended.
stopped.
But you
And
mean
I
this
started
is also
reading.
very
I
interesting.
just simply started reading, I don't know, nice magazines and newspapers. No, it actually there was this kind of switch. I understood that if I needed to know about something, I would Google it and read, instead of being offered different stuff, which always seems exciting, and it always seems like I really need to know about this. But then eventually because there was no need for you, this is not how it originated. And then I just stopped, and I remember it was yeah, I did it, like what do they say, cold turkey. And I felt for 3-4 days. Then maybe I had some nostalgia for a week, and then, I mean, suddenly, like this, I felt I was liberated.
Oh my God, that's great. I wish
It was a great
I
feeling.
think this is still in front of me, I think one day I will quit social media altogether, including
I sometimes
Instagram,
get
Twitter.
directed,
These are
like,
the two I'm using mostly.
because I don't know, the Telegram is also social media. This is where I get my, of course I have, I think I already told you
News
how I
or
get the
yeah.
news. Yeah. I had many channels I joined at the beginning of the war, but now I stick
Sorry,
to
Masha, to
two.
interrupt. Maciek, are you using Telegram?
Yes.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
also using.
221 apps. There has to be Telegram.
Because why? Because there are so lots of groups, like for example,
channels.
channels, when
Group
you can
chat.
receive or group chat. Yeah, because one of the podcasters, which I'm using, yes, was podcast
Following.
also. Yes, so there was a small group, only people who listen to this kind of podcast. Yes, and we can talk together, and sometimes additional.
You should open a Telegram channel, Masz.
Part can be paid, and people who paid to additional premium.
Content,
yeah,
yes.
you're right.
And then you can receive a link directly to private account at Telegram, which means that there are only people who paid for additional value. Yeah, but it doesn't matter how much. It can be $1 per month, but then you can receive a link to private channel at Telegram. I think it's great.
All right. So yeah, Masha, back to you. So you use Telegram but Telegram, as far as I know, is text only, right?
Yeah.
No videos.
Well, no, of course there are videos.
Yes, of course, videos.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry, I thought it works
phone.
pretty much like WhatsApp.
Yeah, but you can publish a video on WhatsApp. Remember, I sent you a video about Kiss.
Yeah. You're right.
Kiss, you mean?
You Kiss the group, the music
the
band.
band they went digital.
Okay.
Yeah, and
because they,
why is it, for example, if I open my Telegram right now, you simply, well, maybe it's an illusion again, but at least you have a feeling that you have some agency over, what you, the content you receive. Because, for example, if I'm interested in, I don't know, right now, what should it be? Well, I only have 2 channels for news, and one, it's something about IT, and I get maybe 1-2 posts every day. They're about something, interesting going on here. You probably see everything I forward you about AI or whatever I get from this.
It's
And
from
if
this,
I'm one, for example, there is a book club. Yeah, so I joined a book club recently, and now I have this channel. If I was interested in, let's say, cooking, I could join a cooking channel. But if I keep getting something, I'm not interested in, or not what I expected, it's very easy. You just leave. It's one click. Um, but sometimes you see an event or something like this, that there's a link and it takes you to Facebook, and of course I go to Facebook to get some information. And then once once I'm on Facebook, I visit this page, this program keeps sending me notifications again. Oh, you have 150 unread messages. Okay, and I have to again go and say, explicitly let them know that I don't want to receive any notifications. So yeah, that's basically it.
All right. But just to summarize, Masha, you stay away from social media because you are somehow protecting your mental health. Is that what it is?
Well, and the
Because you didn't feel good.
No,
Yeah,
and
time.
It's this. It's a, what is it called? Black hole, yeah.
Yeah.
And it
It's
basically
sucking.
sucks you up, sucks you in. You don't realize. I mean, you've probably all been there. You look at your watch and you understand that you've been doing it for, like, I don't know, a couple of hours. So
I think what is even worse than the time that you waste there, because you may spend only 10 minutes or 20, but it totally, what I noticed is that it totally distracts your attention. So even though you spend a few, because imagine that I'm browsing my Twitter feed, for 10 minutes, okay? The amount of info that I have already consumed within the 10 minutes, and it's not just information about one subject. It's basically, about,
but
what's
everything,
happening, everything, and nothing at the same time.
and
Because,
nothing,
nothing, yes, and
because
nothing,
I quit
yes.
Twitter, and then I don't even remember what I was reading about, If I want to repeat something from it, I have a really hard time to tell, for example, my wife what interesting I found, on in my feed, Even though when I'm there, I am entertained, of course. It's quite interesting, and it's totally different because yesterday I had this conversation. Sorry, I'm probably speaking too much, but yesterday I had a conversation with my wife, and she told me that she asked me, what's the difference if I'm browsing if you are browsing, because it was about me. Well, you can imagine what was the conversation about. But she asked me, what's the difference if you read a newspaper or if you browse your phone? It doesn't make a difference because you are absent anyway, right? I mean, from the family life.
I
So
see for
what the
myself.
conversation was.
What about,
But from my perspective, it's a huge difference whether I read a book or a newspaper, a magazine, or whether I spend time on social media. Because if I stop browsing social media, or if I stop reading a book, I'm in two completely different states of mind. I am absolutely more concentrated when I finish reading a longer text, like a book, or a newspaper, and I'm completely in a different state of mind if I finish my social media, the trip around my social media,
Yeah, I want also to add that I see for myself that I would like to be less on social media. Definitely better to open a traditional book, and then it will be better for my health and hygiene. I think it would be a good idea to launch, to introduce a digital hygiene and tidy up the apps and the channels which I follow once a
You've got
week.
a lot to tidy. You know,
Yeah, me too, definitely. Just like we tidy up the house every week. Maybe this is the
there was
idea, but
this idea of Alain de Botton, I think. He's the founder of the School of Life, you know, some kind of a modern, hip, you know, therapy kind of place. But he had this idea of the digital Sabbath, you know, so that you take one day in a week totally offline, basically, because it was not about just, you know, social media, it was about the internet in
offline,
general.
offline.
Yeah,
Okay.
connectivity offline. And I guess that could be nice, except I don't believe in that kind of, you know, it's to me it's similar to, for example, if you have a problem with obesity or with, let's say, with your weight, and then you lock up your fridge, you know, I mean, you set some kind of a chain and a lock, and, you know, I know you swallow the key or something, you know. It's like, you know,
It's
of
true.
course
It's
it
true.
works. I think it works because you can't open the fridge, but it's kind of inhuman, you know. We should have more control using the power of our willpower, you know, using our willpower, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah. It's true because you know in the app like Twitter, Facebook, and or Telegram, there are also a lot of just weak ones that you have to reduce the number of channels you follow. And maybe it's a good idea, you know, one
Yeah,
week
yeah, you're
go
right.
there
You're right. You're right. This
and
is
do
also, yeah,
something.
this is also part of tidying up. Yeah.
Why not? Why not? I can
Yeah,
imagine a
yeah.
situation when that now I can go inside and click
Mm-hmm.
unfollow. Sorry, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
not interested
Mm-hmm.
much more
I
about it.
remember,
And
Maciek, I remember when my Twitter was, when I was following something around 250 accounts, you know,
mhm,
and the timeline was pretty slow, especially that it was the chronological one. Now, of course, it's different with this algorithm, because this algorithm, you know, every time you
yes,
click,
yes.
it will give you 50 new tweets, 50 new,
New tweets
50 new. Every time there is something
from
new.
people which
Yeah,
I don't know anything. Who
exactly.
was it?
Exactly. But because, you know, maybe there are the people of the people who you follow, but you don't follow them. But, you know, stuff like
Yes.
this, the algorithm knows its way. But I think, yeah, back then my timeline was slow, and there was even a time when I basically finished reading my timeline because there was nothing new, and you had to wait another 1 hour or something, you know, for the tweets to fill up this, you know, this
Golden
space.
age.
Yeah, the golden age of social media was, I don't know
Yes.
when. Guys, we have to wrap up. I'm afraid at this point. Maciek, thanks a lot for not only being here, but also thanks for you know, for sparking these kind of you know, thoughts about social media. I didn't know where this conversation will go, because we didn't have time right now to, and we don't have time to discuss taste, because it's also a crucial, I think, thing in the modern world, the world of social media. I know how they impact our taste, how they actually make it very, very. Masha, I need a word now. Uh, when it has no taste, what is it?
Inspired by this podcast about taste.
Yeah, also great episode from Ezra Klein. But not even this, you know, I was thinking lately about, you know, how tastes are formed. And if you right now, if you listen to, I mean, if you have Spotify, Netflix, or so on, can they actually shape your, or Amazon, when it comes to books, can they actually shape your taste? Absolutely not. They show you what's
Absolutely not.
popular. They show you what's popular, but Maciek, the bands that you listen to, those Pink Dots, legendary Pink Dots, and others, you will never find them on Spotify or you know,
No.
apps
You can go there and try to put in the search menu legendary
but even if
pink
they
dots.
are, even if they are in the library of Spotify, they will never be featured like, okay, listen to this, listen to that, because this is music that is a niche music,
Yes.
And in the era of algorithms, everything that is niche, it's kind of it's not worth even showing to people, right? It's quite interesting how they work, how they actually change our behavior, our tastes also. But this is maybe for another time.
Yes.
Thank you once again, Maciek, for being here. It was a pleasure.
Thank you very much. I would like to thank you very much to invite me here, and thank you very much to be a part of newsletter, because it's really great.
Right.
One
Right.
weekly.
And that's why, saying bye to you right now on air, I know that we will meet again and again and again, and not only in our classes, but also cooperating on the newsletter and doing other stuff. Thanks so much.
Maciek, see you in a year. Yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
why
We'll
not?
see you, exactly. See you in 2025. We'll see what's new, in the trends. Masha, it's over to you.
It's over to me. So this was another episode of the Thinking Out Loud podcast. Or was it maybe Maciek's phrase today? Oh,
no,
please
sorry,
do it.
It's a Masha.
All right. No, this one is reserved. Yeah, this is reserved for you. It's exclusive.
Yes, for you.
Masha
exclusive. Sorry, Masha. It's yours. Yeah.
So this was another episode of the Thinking Out Loud podcast. Thank you, everyone. Stay tuned for the next one.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.